안녕하세요. Guys, it's Wed. This new module for Blair is really cooking. Now, I did not expect for it to do very good because at first I was like it was May, but once I start playing with it, I can see that it can be a very big force to reckon with. And you can see how I kill this boss, this annoying boss in the background gameplay. Now, how do you get your hands on this module? There are two different ways to get your hands on this module. And the first is to combine module. Now, if you get lucky, you can get it. But the best way that I found is to farm the Pyromaniacs. So I was able to get this module after about 10 tries. So yours could be shorter or it could be more. But this is the most potent way that I know that you can get it, in my experience. So how does this work? Now, as you can see, I'm using a basic Blair build. This is the same build that I was using for my normal Descendant. All I got to do just slap the new killer recipe on there and it was good to go. It is very simple how this works. You burn the enemy. If you want to get some MP, you can use this. And if you want to do some big damage, you use your fourth ability. However, the thing about this module is that you need a resource. And the resource is Chef's Touch. And if you don't have this, you cannot use your second ability and you cannot use your fourth ability. But the two other abilities are free to use as long as you get MPs. And so in order for you to actually get resources, you need to burn the enemy, kill them, or do damage to them. And in order for you to burn them, you're going to use your first ability. And most reliably, you can use your third ability, the flamethrower. And that does a lot of damage as well. So the problem with this module, when it comes to bosses, if you don't have a lot of enemies around, then you're not going to be able to get a lot of resources. So that's the only issue. So this module, in my opinion, it requires you to be around a lot of enemies. And if you want to do some big damage, then you have to have enemies around. Otherwise, you cannot get the resources. There might be some other ways that you might be able to create resources, but I've not found anything yet. It is very early in the update, so I'm pretty sure some people are going to be able to do some crazy things with this module. Now, here's an example in the lab how this module works. So as you can see right now, my number 2 and number 4 are unavailable because I do not have any resource available. The resource, the Chef's Touch, is the bar underneath my MP bar. Now I'm full of MP but no resource, so I cannot use 2 and 4. So if I want to use 2 or 4, I just have to burn the enemy. Like with number 1, I get some resources, and then now I can use the number 2 if I need MPs. But if I don't need MP, then I can use number 4, but you need to have a target. If you don't have a target, you're not going to be able to use your number 4. Let me show you an example. Now, as an example, if I try to use my number 4, you can see that because I do not have a target, then it's not going to let me do it. See, even if I press my button, there's no target, you can do it. So you need to have a target, and that way you'll be able to use it. It's going to take some getting used to, but it is a lot of fun, and it does a lot of damage. So I just picked up a random bus, one of the higher bus. So since we don't have any enemies around to get resources, we're going to use the cheat code in the lab. So now I'm going to do some burn damage on the enemy. And then that's when I am going to use my big number. And you can see now I have 3 million damage. But if you use it without the enemy being burned, you're not going to do as much damage. So you might be able to do 2 million or 1 million. So let's reset, and we're not going to do any burn damage. And then I'm going to throw it to the enemy real quick and see how much we do. As you can see, even with taking damage, we end up with 1,000,007. So you have to make sure that you apply some burn damage to the enemy so you can do a lot more damage. Anyway, that's basically all we have. Hopefully this helps you out. Trying to get your hands on this and then just go experiment. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.